So we run a volunteer program with Phinda, through which we get volunteers from all over the world to come and assist us with our data collection.
My name is Miranda Schmelzer. I consider myself South African. By birth I'm German. So I'm an artist. My favorite subjects are wild African landscapes. The volunteer project got my interest because my happy place, my soul place is in the bush.
It's a specifically research-orientated program. You get to see hands-on the behind-the-scenes work, whether it is collecting data, going out monitoring with the researchers, to checking up on newly released animals. There are lion collarings, cheetah decollarings, pangolin releases, even rhino dehornings. So you actively get to participate on whatever is on the go.
And very impressed by the operation, how quick and efficient and with least possible harm to the animal.
So the ongoing monitoring involves us going out on the open cruises. So they go out with us every morning and afternoon when we go monitoring. We'll spend about 3 to 4 hours on a typical day monitoring our priority species, which include our big five, as well as hyena, cheetah, and then of course pangolins.
Just the thought that I'll be sitting for about 8 hours on an open vehicle, just driving through the bush, does it for me. I've never been to a place that's so green and lush. I've never been to a reserve with that biodiversity, and I like the research aspect of what the volunteer program has to offer.
Driving a specific area, see which animals we can find, collect data on them. We'll use our telemetry equipment, and the volunteers will actually actively help us, directing us to drive in the right location. So it helps to have an extra pair or couple of pair of eyes, having a look out for the different animals. Sometimes there's 114 buffalo together. Now we need to do age and sex breakdowns. We also do our annual camera trap surveys, and they'll be physically helping us set up a camera. If you suddenly have 3 people or 4 people assisting, it comes down to 5 minutes, so saving us quite a crucial amount of time. So the volunteer project is loads of fun. It is really going back to the basics, very communal living. Everybody is cooking for themselves. There's 2 different research camps in the reserve. Because there's so many people from different areas, you get to experience different cultures, different food, interact with one another, learn from one another, but also at the same time, everybody's passionate about conservation that comes and volunteer.
I just love it out here, and I needed to come back to this lovely nature and recenter myself, ground myself. It's almost a nurturing of self.
So volunteers tend to come for whatever time frame they would like to stay with us, but in general it's a minimum of 2 weeks. So the amount that they pay to be here, to assist to volunteer, actually feeds straight back into the resources that we make use of, such as the fuel for the vehicles, and then also other equipment that we might be making use of, such as the telemetry as well.
I'm very close to animals, I must admit. So for me it's a big balancer, and they nurture me. Just their presence. They've got so much to teach us, and I find if we can be a voice for them who don't have a voice, that's in my later years of my life now, is something I'd like to put my time to. They'll
get to interact with the Phinda Habitat team, which involves our 3 reserve managers, as well as our ecologist and the ecological monitors. And they'll get to see the behind-the-scenes work of what goes into trying to manage a reserve like andBeyond Phinda, and why it's such a successful reserve in terms of conservation and reintroducing animals into an area where they have gone locally extinct. I was very, very lucky that the day after I arrived, the pangolin project started afresh. 2 new pangolins were brought in from Johannesburg. I was very privileged to walk that with Charlie for a couple of days. Something one dreams of. I've never seen a pangolin in the wild, so very, very special. I keep a visual diary, which I've started since I'm here, with all the little adventures and stories, and then I illustrate them with little paintings of whatever it was, and just keep it as a little memento of my time here. It gives me a lot of peace. Because of Phinda's success with conservation and also the extensive research that's come out of it, you're part of what is being collected, and you get to physically see the research that you are collecting, how it's contribute towards conservation and the beautiful success of this place and diversity because of it.